Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. So in this video, I will show you how you can design in Silhouette Studio and cut with your Cricut. Come on y'all, let's get started. For this project, I am going to be using Koala double-sided glossy photo paper and AdTech glue tape runner. I will leave a list of these items in the description of the video. If you don't have Silhouette Studio Business Edition, you can go to Swing Design and download the free version of the software. To download the free version, you would go to www.swingdesign.com, and I will leave a link to the website in the description of this video. On the website, you will select software, and then you're going to go over and you're going to select all Silhouette software. You're going to scroll down to find the basic edition, which is here, and it's absolutely free for a PC or a Mac. You're going to select it, download it, and follow the instructions to get the basic edition installed on your computer. Once you have the basic edition installed, then you're going to go back up to Swing Design, and you're going to locate the business edition. You're going to download the software and follow the instructions to get this onto your computer and to upgrade your software. The regular price is a one-time fee of $99, but currently it is on sale for $39.99. It is always on sale for either between $39.99 and $69.99. So now here in Silhouette Studio Business Edition, the default will be a 12 by 12 canvas, and here is where I can begin designing. For this project, I am going to be designing a pillow box favor for my niece to take to school for Valentine's Day treats. First, I'm going to add the template that I downloaded from Creative Fabrica. I will leave a link in the description of the video if you're interested in the pillow box favor. To add the template, I am going to go to the top menu and select File. I'm going to select Merge. And then I'm going to navigate to the location of the template. I'm going to select the template, and then I'm going to select OK. Once the template is on the canvas, I am going to select the entire template, and then on the top menu, I'm going to select Object and then Group, because right now I want everything to move as one piece. And here it has like the perforation lines. They're kind of faint right now, so because this is blue, the perforation lines are gray, and so you can't really see them now, but they are there. I want to print the pillow boxes on 8.5 by 11 paper, so I'm going to size the template to 8.4 in width and 7.3 in height. To do this, I'm going to make sure that the template is selected, and then on the top menu under Size, I am going to unlock the aspect ratio, and I'm going to change the width to 8.4 and hit Enter, and then I'm going to change the height to 7.3 and hit Enter. After sizing the template, I am going to begin designing my pillow box. I am going to add my images to the canvas. there are two ways to add images to the canvas. The first way is to go to the top menu, select File, select Merge, navigate to where your images are located, select your image, and then select OK. The second way is to open up File Explorer, and then I am going to minimize the window by selecting the double square icon next to the X. And then I'm just going to select and drag the images onto the silhouette canvas. So I'm just going to drag them in, and I'm going to make sure that I do not overlap the images. So the good thing about Silhouette Studio is that you can design all in the gray area here on the canvas. So you don't just have to use the white canvas to design. You can utilize the gray area as well. Before I begin designing, I want to duplicate the template. So I'm going to select the template. On the top menu, I'm going to select Object, Replicate, and then I'm going to select Duplicate Right. And I'm just going to continue to move it off of the canvas. The template that is on the canvas, I am going to ungroup this template. So I'm going to go up to Object, and I'm going to ungroup. After ungrouping, each layer now is back to being a separate layer. And so I am going to now design the background for my design. I'm going to take the background image here, and I am going to send it to the back. So I'm going to select the background. On the top menu, I'm going to select Object, Arrange, and then Send to Back. Then I am going to size the background so that it covers the entire blue layer. So I'm going to use the corner handles, and I am just going to size it and position the background where I want it to be behind my template. So once I have it positioned, so I'm going to move it over just a little bit more. So once I have it where I want it, I am going to then select the blue layer, and then I'm going to hold my Shift key, and I'm going to select the background. Then I'm going to open the Modify panel on the right toolbar, and it is the icon that is a square and a circle. When the Modify panel opens, I am going to select Crop. Once cropped, you can scale the background or move it around to position it where you want it. To do this, I am going to make sure that the background is selected, and then on the right toolbar, I'm going to select the Fill panel, and it looks like a paint palette. I am going to select the third icon, which is Fill Pattern. Here, I can use the slider bars to change the transparency. I can scale it so that I can have more or less of the background. And then I can also pan the pattern by moving it left or right. So you would just select this cross arrow here in the middle. Let me zoom in. So you would select that cross arrow in the middle here, and then you could move it left or right, whichever way you want to move it, up or down, to position the pattern where you want it. I have my background how I want it to be, and so I am going to start sizing and positioning my images on the canvas. When positioning the images onto the template, you want to make sure that you keep them within the perforated lines, so you can probably see them, but they're really faint. So I'm not sure if you can see them, but they're probably really faint. There are some perforation lines here. I can see them and you may not be able to see them, but they're there. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to start adding my images to my template. Now that I have my images placed, I am going to add an offset to my front images so that they can kind of stand out a little. And so to add an offset, I am going to select the teddy bear. On the right toolbar, I'm going to select the offset panel, and it is the star with the outline. Here you can choose from offset or internal offset. I'm going to select offset, and I am going to change my distance to 40. And so you can use the slider bar to change your distance, or you can use the up and down arrows to change your distance. So then after I get my distance, I am going to select apply. With the offset still selected, I am going to change the color by selecting the fill panel, and I am going to select the dropper here so that I can pick a color from my background. And so I'm just going to hover over the color in my background, and I am going to select that area, and that is going to change my offset to the color that I selected. And then on the line style panel, I am going to remove the red outline that is around the teddy bear. And the line style panel is the third, it's the third icon, but it's the 3 lines icon. And on this panel, I am going to select line color, which is the second icon. And then I'm going to select the swatch with the X in the middle. I am going to repeat this for the Happy Valentine's Day image as well. Next, I'm going to add some text to the banner. And to add text, I am going to go to the left toolbar and I am going to select text. I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas, and then I'm going to type from. I'm going to select anywhere on the canvas to when I finish typing. And I am going to repeat that for my next word. Now that I have my text, I am going to change the color. So I'm going to select both of the words, and then I'm going to select the fill panel. I'm going to use the dropper again to get a color out of the design, and I'm going to select this area here. Then I'm going to select the line style panel, and I'm going to select the second icon, and I'm going to select none. Next, I want to select my font. To select my font, I'm going to select from, and on the right toolbar, I will select the text style panel, and it is the icon that looks like an uppercase A and a lowercase a. When this panel opens, I am going to select Arial Black for the word from. I'm going to select Anye. And for this font, I'm going to select Bold Marker. Now that I have my font selected, I am going to size and position it. Before I size the font, I want to point out that the bounding box around the font here is larger than the actual word. And so to get a more accurate size, I'm going to select from. On the top menu, I'm going to select Object, and I'm going to select Convert to Path. And now this is the true size of my font. I am going to do the same thing for Anye. Now that I have my true size, I am going to size the text and position it to fit on the banner. Now that I have my design how I want it, I am going to delete the perforation lines. So I'm going to select the perforation lines and I'm going to delete them. There's an extra outline behind here, and so I'm just going to select that as well, and I'm going to delete that because I don't need them. Then I'm going to select my entire design with the images, and on the top toolbar, I'm going to select Object and Group. Now I'm going to move the duplicate to the canvas. So let me move that one off, and I'm going to grab this duplicate and I'm going to move it to the canvas. With the duplicate template selected, I'm going to ungroup it. So I'm going to go to Object and I'm going to go to Ungroup. And then I'm going to select the blue layer and I'm going to select Delete. This is going to be the layer for my score lines, and it is also going to help me align my design with the score lines. The perforated lines you see on the screen are the score lines. Cricut has score lines that you have to use a scoring tool for. I don't have this scoring tool, so I'm going to make these lines true perforated lines to be cut with Cricut. The cutting machine would cut, skip, creating a perforation so that I can fold the pillow box. To convert the score lines to perforation, I am going to select the perforation line, and on the right toolbar, I'm going to open up the Modify panel. At the bottom of the panel, in the Compound Path section, I am going to select Detach Lines, and then I'm going to select Release. With the lines now individual objects, I am going to go to the top menu, select Object, and select Group. Now I am ready to save the files so that I can cut them with my Cricut cutting machine. Since the perforated lines with the outline is already on the canvas, I'm going to start with this one first. And I'm going to save it as an SVG. I'm going to select the entire template. On the top menu, I'm going to select Object, and I'm going to select Group. Then, again on the top menu, I'm going to select File, Save, Selection, Save to Hard Drive. I am going to name my file. I am going to change my Save As type to SVG, and I'm going to select OK. Now I'm going to save my design. So for images, you cannot save as an SVG. For images, you can only save as a PNG or a JPEG. And if you have multiple images, you will have to save them one at a time. So to save, I am going to make sure that my design is selected. I am going to check to make sure that my design is still one object. And if it's not, you want to group it. And then I'm going to go to the top menu. I'm going to select File, and I'm going to select Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. I'm going to name my file. And then I'm going to change my Save As type to PNG. And then I'm going to select OK. Here, I am going to check the transparent background box because I want the design to have a transparent background. And then I'm going to select Save. Here in Cricut Design Space, I am going to upload the SVG and the PNG. With the SVG and the PNG on the canvas, I am going to check to make sure that they came in the correct size. So I'm going to select my design, and I can see that it is 8.743 in width and 7.594 in height. I want my design to be 8.4 in width and 7.3 in height. So I'm going to select the design. On the top toolbar under Size, I'm going to unlock my lock proportion, and I'm going to change my width to 8.4 and hit enter. And I'm going to change my height to 7.3 and hit enter. Next, I am going to check the score lines. So I'm going to select my score lines, and we can see that it obviously is not the same size. And so I'm just going to size it correctly as well. So on the top toolbar, I'm going to unlock my proportions, and I'm going to change my width to 8.4, hit enter, and I'm going to change my height to 7.3 and hit enter. Now that everything is sized correctly, I am going to center the pillow box design with the score lines. To center, I am going to select both the design and the score lines. On the top toolbar to the left, I'm going to select Edit. Under Layout and Position, I'm going to select the drop-down menu under Align, and I'm going to select Center. I'm going to select Edit again to close the window. Next, I want the pillow box design to cut with the score lines so that they will print, then cut together. And if we take a look at the layers panel, we can see that the pillow score lines are a basic cut. So they're not going to print, they're only going to cut. The design is a print then cut, and it is going to print, and then Cricut is going to cut out the design and then cut the perforation marks. To get the pillow box design to print and then to cut the score lines, I am going to select the design and the score lines, and then on the bottom of the layers panel, I'm going to select attach. Now the pillow box design will cut with the score lines, and so now I'm going to select make on the top right. On this screen is the print then cut design mat. There is nothing to do on this screen, so I'm going to select continue on the bottom right. On this screen, I am going to select send to printer. I'm going to select next. On this screen, I am going to select my printer. I'm going to leave the add bleed on. I'm going to turn on use system dialog, and I'm going to select print. The system dialog box will open, and I am going to make sure that my printer is selected. I'm going to select preferences. I'm going to change my paper type to HP photo paper. I'm going to change my quality to best. And then I'm going to select OK and then print. On the material screen, I am going to select medium cardstock as my material setting. For this project, I am going to be using the blue light grip mat. I am going to place the photo paper in the upper left-hand corner, and I am going to make sure that I place it on the mat in the same direction as it shows on my computer screen, with the arrow on the left side pointing up. I'm going to load the cutting machine and get the template cut out so that we can assemble it. So I have the box cut out, and the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over the score lines. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to place some double-sided tape along this edge right here. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape right here. Then I'm going to fold it over and place and close it up like that. And then once you have it closed, you can open it like that. You just want to make sure it's all the way closed. And then you're going to fold in the bottom like that. And then fold in the bottom like that. So you're just going to take and fold that side down and fold this side down. And then you could put your treats on the inside. And then you want to fold in your back cover, and then you fold in your front cover, and then there is the pillow box. So I think it is cute. It's gonna make a great treat box for the classrooms. Tell me, what do you think? All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you're able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video.